I remember the exact moment I realized I didn't exist in my own family's world anymore. It wasn't a dramatic showdown or a fiery argument. No, it was something much more subtle and cruel. It started with a single envelope that never arrived. My sister, Leela, was getting married, and for weeks I watched social media light up with photos of bridal showers, dress fittings, and champagne toasts. And me? I didn't get an invite, not even a digital RSVP link. Nothing. I called Mom that night, trying to convince myself I wasn't overreacting. My thumb hovered over the screen, hesitating before I pressed call, my stomach twisting like I'd swallowed a dozen knives. When she answered, her voice was flat, almost rehearsed. "Hey, Chloe," she said. "Hi, Bum," I started, my voice tight. I didn't get the wedding invite. Did it get lost in the mail, or—" She cut me off with a sigh, like I was some kind of bothersome mosquito buzzing in her ear. "Oh, honey, we thought it'd be easier if you didn't come." I froze. "Excuse me? I what?" My voice cracked on the last word. Mom hesitated, then said, "Leela's fiancé. He thinks it might be awkward, tense, with you around." I blinked. "Awkward? Mom, I'm your daughter. You're telling me my presence at my sister's wedding would— what, ruin it?" She paused, almost as if she were willing herself to say the right thing, but she couldn't. "Just this year, Chloe. Maybe next year things will be different." I ended the call before I could scream. I tossed my phone onto the couch and buried my face in my hands. The hurt was sharp, immediate, like someone had carved a hole in my chest. Growing up, I'd always been the quiet one, the one who sat on the sidelines while my sister and her friends got the spotlight. But this was different. This wasn't childhood jealousy, it was deliberate. I spent that night scrolling through Leela's Instagram feed. Every story, every tagged photo screamed family fun, but none of it included me. None of it mentioned me. Not a single emoji to indicate even the slightest acknowledgement of my existence. I had officially been erased. The next morning, I went to work, trying to shove the humiliation down deep where I could at least pretend it didn't hurt. My job as a trauma surgeon's assistant at St. Mary's Hospital kept me grounded. Chaos was normal there, and in chaos, there was a strange kind of comfort. Lives were literally on the line, and my own drama suddenly seemed small. But that comfort didn't last. 2 days later, I was finishing charts in the hospital lounge when a man in scrubs approached me, looking frantic. He had that lost in a nightmare energy that immediately set my nerves on edge. "Chloe Bennett?" he asked, voice shaking. I nodded cautiously. "Yeah, that's me. Can I help you?" He swallowed as if the act itself required a monumental effort. "I'm her fiancé, Max." My heart stopped. Max? The reason I wasn't invited?
He looked around, as if expecting someone, or everyone, to witness this interaction. His hands fidgeted with the cuffs of his scrub jacket. You're not supposed to be here," he said finally, almost whispering, like the words themselves were dangerous. I narrowed my eyes. "And you're supposed to be here? Max, you told my mom I'd make things awkward. You told her I shouldn't come to your wedding. Care to explain why you're standing here now?" He looked like someone had punched him in the gut. I didn't want to. I didn't know what else to do." I blinked. "Excuse me? You're telling me you decided my family should shut me out, and now you're, what, sorry?" He shook his head violently. "It's not like that. You don't understand. I made a mistake, a huge one." I crossed my arms, trying to mask the rising fury. "Oh, you made a mistake? And I'm supposed to just forgive you? Or are we talking about some kind of Hallmark miracle here?" Max ran a hand through his hair, his eyes darting around like he was about to vanish. Then he finally looked me straight in the eye. "It's not personal. It's complicated. I work in a research lab. Well, more like a private biotech consulting firm. And your sister, she doesn't know I've been involved in some ethically gray projects. Dangerous stuff. Cutting edge stuff that could land me in jail if the wrong person finds out. I felt my brain short-circuit. Wait, what are you saying? He gulped, the words finally spilling out. When your mom called and said you weren't coming, it wasn't just about family drama. I was scared that if you came, you'd see something you weren't supposed to see. You might figure out my work, and if you do, I could lose everything. My career, my freedom. I panicked. The room seemed to tilt. I wanted to laugh, or scream, or both. All the tiny bruises of rejection, the quiet sting of being erased, suddenly made sense. It wasn't me, it was him. My own sister, my mom, they were just pawns in his paranoid chess game. So let me get this straight, I said, voice low and controlled, though my hands trembled. You told my family that I was the problem? That I was the one who'd ruin the wedding? All because you were scared I'd stumble across what? Your little lab secrets? He winced like I'd slapped him across the face. Yeah, I didn't know what else to do. I thought if I kept you away, it'd be safer. For everyone. I felt a cold anger rise up, sharp and blinding. Safer. For everyone. Except me, apparently. I'm the one who doesn't get a say in my own family? I'm the one erased from pictures, from memories, from my sister's biggest day? Max opened his mouth to say something, but I cut him off. You know what's funny? You think hiding the truth, keeping me away, protecting yourself, that makes you clever. But here's the kicker. You don't even know who you're dealing with. He blinked. What do you mean? I took a deep breath, letting the words fall deliberately. I know your lab. I've read the publications. I've traced the patents. And I've reported your company to the authorities. Weeks ago.
His face drained of color. His knees nearly buckled under the weight of my words. You what? I stepped closer, letting him feel the full force of my calm fury. You excluded me from your wedding because you were afraid I'd uncover your little scheme. And guess what, Max? I already did. He stumbled backward, catching himself on the wall. I didn't think. I didn't know. I shook my head. Yeah. That's the thing about truth. It doesn't care about fear. It doesn't care about panic. It doesn't care about who you push out of your life just to protect yourself. It comes out, always. He sank to the floor, burying his face in his hands. I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and exhaustion. Years of being sidelined, overlooked, erased. It all led to this moment. I wasn't powerless anymore. I just wanted things to go smoothly, Max mumbled, voice muffled. I didn't think you'd do your job, I finished for him. Exactly, and that's what I did. I turned away, walking back toward the lounge, ignoring the way his shoulders shook. The adrenaline in my veins made my legs feel like lead, but I didn't stop. I had a hospital to run, lives to touch, and somewhere in the chaos of emergency medicine, I felt lighter. That night, I scrolled through my phone again. Leela had posted wedding rehearsal pictures. I didn't like them. I didn't even comment, but I allowed myself a small, quiet smile. I didn't need their approval. I didn't need their invitations. I had my truth, and for the first time, it felt like enough. The next morning, I got a call from the authorities. Max's company had been frozen, executives called in, documents subpoenaed, and in that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, power. Not over anyone else, but over my own story, my own life. For the first time, Chloe Bennett wasn't the quiet sister in the corner. She was someone who had been pushed, excluded, erased, and had come out on top. And maybe,
Just maybe, she was finally free.